Hey, what's going on, everybody? What is going on? All right, so we're going to go ahead and just jump right into a couple things. I know there's going to be people joining along the way, but I wanted to get things started off here and talk a little bit about, some different things that we're seeing in the market, some interesting news stories, and just kind of a little bit about what you need to know when it comes to living here in Utah. So we're going to jump in. If you have questions, make sure to drop them in the comment section below. I'd love to chat with you and answer any questions you might have. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. So we're going to come over here, talk about this. So new report reveals trend in Utah's booming tech industry. This talks a little bit about what's happening with the workforce here in Utah. Utah's engineering and computer science workforce generates $19 billion and represents 12 to 15% of the state's economy. The engineering and computer science trade generated 238,000 full and part-time jobs in 2020, according to the report. Are there enough Utahns to fill the job? The short answer is no. The rate of growth has outpaced the in-state labor availability and is predicted to continue. I should probably go like this because I know you guys probably can't see. Present, share screen, share. There we go. There we go. And go like this. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So are there enough Utahns to fill the jobs? The short answer is no. The rate of growth has outpaced the in-state labor availability and is predicted to continue to outpace it. So this is really interesting information. They're saying basically, hey, look, there's not enough people living here in Utah to satisfy the jobs that we have, especially in the tech industry. I know there's a lot of people who reach out to me to say, hey, I'm looking for a job. Can you help me find something? And a lot of you people are in this field. So, something that's interesting here. There's really interesting information. They're saying a lot of jobs there that are coming out. So we do have some really good videos coming out in the next couple of weeks here on the channel. So I hope you guys enjoy those. Go ahead, drop your comments in the comment section below if you have any. But I'm going to jump over here and take a look at this report real quick. So rents are still going up, but it's at half the rate that they were 6 months ago. In the U.S., rent prices are still growing, but they're slowing significantly as the nation's housing market dynamics shift dramatically amid higher interest rates. To put that shift into perspective, rents these days are now growing half as fast as they were just 6 months ago, according to Redfin. In September, the median U.S. asking rent rose 9% year over year to just over $2,000. It also marked the slowest growth since August of last year and the first single-digit increase in a year. September marked a 2.5% month-over-month price decline and was the fourth straight month that saw annual rent growth decelerate. So they're basically saying that month-over-month rents were down by 2.5%. I think this is partially going to be for seasonal reasons, just because the market slows down as we go into the fall and then into the winter. There's going to be less demand for rental properties out there. Also, because there's less homes that are selling on the market, that also means that a lot of potential sellers are now converting to renting their property. And so that's also going to put pressure on the rental market in order for rents to drop. So although there's still a lack of demand out there, we are seeing inventory ticking up, which it says right here, which is also causing the rent growth to slow. Scores of apartments that have been under construction are now coming onto the market, and more homeowners are choosing to become landlords instead of selling in order to hold on to their record low mortgage rates. Coming down here, the building boom helped make a dent in the state's housing shortage, but it still stands at 31,000 units short. And Utah's Wasatch Front has also seen a boom in apartments with over 66,000 permitted between 2010 and 2022. Of those, 60% of growth occurred in Salt Lake County, with roughly 25% in Utah County and 10% in Davis County. So pretty interesting to see that most of the growth out there is happening here in Salt Lake County. Currently, there are about 24,250 apartment units under construction across the Wasatch Front. Salt Lake City leads the country in rental construction. It's pretty crazy to think that there's 24,000 rental units under construction right now. I mean, to me, that's even actually like kind of a little bit scary, because you're looking at this information and they're basically saying that we're 31,000 units short, but in the next, let's say 1 to 2 years, these 24,000 units are going to come onto the market. So that's actually going to help. There's a lot of people out there who are looking at prices, looking at rent, thinking, hey, these are really high. we do expect those to come down, especially if there's that many units that come onto the market. In Salt Lake County, the average rent grew from $1,200 in early 2020 to $1,500 in the second quarter of 2022, a $321 jump. So pretty interesting information to see there. Let's go ahead and jump over here and take a look. Let me just click on this. Actually, let's take a look at this article first. So this is an article I saw from a couple weeks ago. It's actually October 15th. And it says, where home prices in your local housing market are headed in 2023, according to Zillow's revised forecast. So if we look at this information here, everything in red is suggesting that prices are going to go down. And if you're in the blue, they're thinking that prices will actually go up. So this is very interesting to me, because this is only a couple weeks old. But I think that anybody who tells you that prices are going to be up next year is up to no good. Let's just say there's definitely been a drop in prices, and I think they're going to continue to drop. They're basically saying that by September 2023, they actually expect that home prices will be up 5%, or roughly, somewhere between 0 and 5% here in Utah. So you can see that basically this entire Rocky Mountain area is going to be up according to what Zillow is predicting here. So I don't know if that's necessarily true. It's going to be interesting to see what happened, because the actual data shows something different, right? It says the shift in home values between May of this year and August. You can see that prices were down over 5% here in Salt Lake County. It's a little bit tough to see because it's so small, but prices have already come down. So it's really kind of interesting that they're saying actually prices are going to be up by September of 2023. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. I don't see any comments coming through. If anybody's watching, they want to jump in and ask some questions, go ahead and do that. I'm here to answer any questions that might come up. And we're just going to keep kind of running through some of these articles and reports that we see here and just talk about what's happening in the market. So how regional home values are expected to shift over the next 3 months, according to Zillow. So from September of this year to December, they're expecting that prices will remain mostly flat in Salt Lake County, a slight decline in Davis and Weber counties up here to the north. And then right here, this blue section on the southern end is Utah County. So that's going to be Saratoga Springs. That's going to be Eagle Mountain, Provo, Orem, those areas there. I don't know that I agree with that. We're already seeing prices come down. I've got a market update video coming out tomorrow that's going to show you what's happening with that. Ironically, from September to October of this year, we actually saw prices remain mostly flat. However, with the latest interest rate increase, that the federal government or the Federal Reserve, I should say, just came out with, I think there's going to be a very high chance that we do end up see prices come down even further going into the winter months. The market's going to slow down just because of the holidays. There's going to be a lot of changes coming to the market with prices. I don't think this is accurate in my opinion. So, something worth noting there. And then this information right here, again, between September of this year and September of next year, they're actually expecting prices to be up year over year. This actually seems to be the case. California is kind of excluded from that, at least in most areas. Some areas are showing increases there. But this Pacific Northwest, the Rocky Mountain area, and then almost the entire South and kind of this Midwest section. I mean, a lot of these markets are showing that they're expecting prices to go up. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know that that's going to be the case, but we'll see. Here's another article that I saw from a couple weeks ago. This is talking about why 3 simple reasons why this housing downturn is nothing like 2008. So we take a look at this. Lenders stopped being so lax, blame it on the banks. A huge contributor to the housing crisis in 2008 was dicey lending practices within the financial industry. A lot of those dicey practices they're talking about have gone away, and they've actually gotten much more strict with who they lend money to in today's market. Homeowners are doing fine. This section here basically says, look, there's a lot of homeowners out there who have very low interest rates. They can afford their payments relatively easy, and they've got a ton of equity in their house, meaning that they've got a long way to ride that down before they could ever potentially get into a situation where they're going to have, foreclosure or short sale type of issues. And lastly, there's still plenty of supply. It's not always simple as supply and demand, but it almost always is. Says Mr. Dave Ramsey. Ramsey says the major issue in 2008 was there was a tremendous oversupply because of foreclosures, went everywhere, and the market just froze. Right now, We're not seeing a ton of foreclosures. You will see some headlines that say, hey, foreclosures are up, 100% or something. And basically that just means that foreclosures went from 50 in a market to 100, which is not enough to, necessarily crash the market or anything like that. So you have to be kind of careful with what you read there and what you hear, but there's still plenty of supply in the market. Let's jump over here. Oh, that's the one we're already on. Let's come over here. If you guys have questions, make sure to drop it in the comment section down below. I love hearing from you guys. Sorry, I don't have the fanciest setup tonight. Just here at my home office on my laptop computer. Just wanted to do a quick live stream, see if anybody had questions or comments about the market or what's going on. So if you do have, any questions or comments, just drop it in the box down below and let's chat about it here on the stream. So let's go ahead and jump back over to that article real quick. Let me pull this up. All right, cool. So this is a report that came out from Moodys. So this is going to kind of go in hand with the Zillow reports that we just looked at. So home prices are going to crash in 20% in Nashville. Here's the revised forecast for the nation's 322 largest housing markets. So this is a map showing how much home prices are expected to fall in the biggest markets from the peak to the trough, right? So they're saying, okay, from all-time highs, how far do we actually think those are going to, fall? If we look at this and kind of decipher the map, it looks like the northern part of Utah, Davis, Weber County, they're expecting prices to potentially fall up to 25% in these areas. It looks like it's a little bit less over here in Utah County and Salt Lake County, probably somewhere around that 10 to 12% range, which is actually really interesting because we've already seen prices come down about 8%. So looking at this map, if we go ahead and see if we can zoom in here. Yeah, that helps a little bit. So looking at this map, you could actually say that, compared to what we saw on the Zillow map as well, there could be a chance that we're actually getting close to the pricing bottom of the market, right? And I don't know that that's necessarily true. I think we've got personally at least another 5 to 10% to go, at least, potentially even more. But, there's these companies and hedge funds and, investment firms out there who are much smarter than I am saying, hey, this is kind of what we're seeing around the country. And so I think they have a pretty good, they're going to have a pretty good feel on the market. So I actually see what's boots on the ground, what's happening. But these guys obviously see kind of what's happening on a massive national level economic style. So they are expecting, somewhere between 10 to 15% for Salt Lake and Utah County, and then roughly up to 25% drop in Davis and Weber County up north. So if you're looking up north, there's a good chance you might be able to pick up some good deals at 25%. If we were to fall 25% from the all-time highs down to the bottom of this market shift, that would probably put us back to pricing that we saw in probably late 2020. So not even pre-pandemic pricing. We'd probably go back to about late 2020, maybe early 2021, depending on what data set you're looking at. But that is pretty interesting information there to look at. That looks like the same map. This chart here, this says how much home prices are expected to fall according to their revised forecast. And it shows these 25 markets are expected to see the biggest peak to trough home price declines. So you've got a city here in Tennessee, Michigan, Idaho. There's a couple of cities in Idaho that are here on this list. But interestingly enough, even if you come down all the way down to the bottom, even at 18%, there's not a single city in Utah that actually makes it onto this list. So they're expecting that Utah is going to weather that storm pretty well. I think that's because there's so many people moving in here and there's a lot of demand for houses. So that kind of wraps up that article there. Let's go ahead and jump over here. If you guys have questions, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. We'll get to those here in just a second. This is an article talking about the safest and most dangerous states. So I pulled up this here and wanted to take a look at the safe state ranking. So Utah is not number one, but we are number 4. This is something that a lot of people comment on when they come here to the state. They're like, man, I can't believe how clean it is. I can't believe how safe it is, how safe it feels. There's just, people are super friendly. So this doesn't really surprise me that Utah does rank number 4 here on this list for, safest states, right up there with a couple of northeastern states of Vermont, Maine, and New Hampshire. So yeah, Utah's a super safe place to go compared to what looks like to be a lot of states in the South, which are the most dangerous, going from most to least dangerous, starting with Louisiana at number 1. So yeah, Utah's up here, safe state, which is really pretty cool, and really great information. So with all that being said, guys, that kind of wraps up our live video here. Unless if somebody's got questions or wants to chat with me for a little bit, of course, you can always shoot me a private message if you want to talk about something specific to your situation. Feel free to email me. If you look in the description box down below, you can actually set up a private call with me directly if you'd like to chat about your situation and see what makes the most sense for you if you're looking at buying or selling. But nevertheless, I just appreciate you guys being here, always supporting me with the channel. It's awesome to see people jump on and watch my videos, getting generally a couple hundred videos per couple hundred views per video is really pretty cool to see. So I really appreciate all the support, over the last couple of years. And, we're getting over the last couple of years, I've helped well over 100 people make a move here to Utah, and also a lot of people, local, make moves as well. So if you are thinking about making that move yourself, go ahead and reach out to me. Like I said, my information is in the description box down below. I'm going to stick around here for just another couple of minutes and see if anybody's got questions. If you have questions, post a comment. Questions. Anybody got questions? All right, guys. Well, yeah, I really appreciate everybody jumping on here and taking a look at the video, this live video. We're going to be trying to do more of these over, going into the future, especially going into the winter when things are a little bit slower, with not as many activities going on, family stuff, things like that you have during the summer. I'm going to be trying to do these live streams at least once a week. We'll probably do them Thursday nights. We'll see what the response is there. We might have to play with the time a little bit, but I'd love to see anybody jump on who can. It's always great to just kind of jump into this live chat room, if you will, and just, talk real estate, talk Utah, talk what you need to know about living in the area. And yeah, we're going to try and do these at least once a week. Like I said, we'll try and figure out a date that works best. We might go to the weekends. I don't know. We'll have to see what we can figure out. But yeah, just wanted to jump on here real quick. So I don't see any questions coming through. Like I said, if you do have questions, go ahead and email me directly. You can find my information in the description box. I'd love to, have a chat with you about the type of home and lifestyle you're looking for, if that's what you're looking for, or if you just need, some advice or have questions or whatever. I would love to help. With all that said, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you guys all next week.